All right, so let's get started. Thanks for joining me this morning. My name is Steve Hantley. I'm with Aktion Associates. I'm one of the business unit managers for the AEC group. And what I'm going to do this morning is kind of go through an offering we have of how we deliver Sage products, Sage 100, Sage 300, and Sage Estimating to customers in the cloud, if you will, and kind of go through that. I've got a few PowerPoint slides to go through, and then I'll open it up for questions and answers, and we'll go. That'll be the format for this morning. Just a real quick background about Aktion Associates. Here's our mission statement. We're a full-service, end-to-end IT firm, as I call it, and where we have all kinds of services. I'll get to a slide that kind of hits those here in a second. But we really like to position ourselves and consider ourselves partners with our customers for your success in IT solutions for your business. Our background, again, we've been around for about 30 years. Most of those 30 years we have been involved in the construction industry at several different levels. We have about 50 employees out of our 110 round numbers dedicated to our AEC industry. We've got about 25 consultants that are focused in on our project-specific software solutions, most of those being in the Sage world. And we have about 4,000 customers that we support throughout the 15 states that we are in. We do have our own hotline support for our customers. You see that number on the screen. I think I've got that on there one or two more times, where you can call in and get a hold of one of our certified consultants during business hours 5 days a week. Our offices, our headquarters is just outside of Toledo in a suburb called Maumee. We have offices in Indianapolis, Columbus, Ohio, Chicago, actually Aurora, just outside of Chicago, Charlotte, North Carolina, and our most recent office is over in Tyson's Corner in the Washington, D.C. area. Services, here's the things that we do outside of just, you might be familiar with some of the Sage things we do, but we do have managed services where we actually host applications, and that's what I'm really going to focus on here in a few minutes. We also do remote monitoring, remote backup, so basically we can be your full IT support. We have network and software engineers and application consultants to help you out. Again, there's our hotline number. We also have a group in our organization that handles website design and e-marketing. Again, I mentioned the software engineers for custom applications and software coding. You see some of the other solutions we have where our network engineers work with a lot of our customers for security, intrusion control, virtualization of your servers, and all kinds of things like that. So just to kind of give you a quick background about Aktion Associates, what PowerPoint presentation wouldn't be complete with some sort of a logo slide. So here's some of the software partners and hardware partners that we work with on a regular basis. So always like to do this just because it's fun to watch. All right, so let's get into my presentation about cloud a little bit. About 6 in 10 companies already have at least one application that they're running in the cloud, and I would be willing to bet that most of you guys have that as well. And think about what that application might be. It might be something as simple as Box or Google Docs, something like that. It might be something more robust as Office 365, where you're actually outsourcing your entire exchange. And of that, about 70% people expect to spend more money and put more applications out in the cloud over the next 12 to 18 months. There's a definite advantages of moving things to the cloud. So that's what I kind of want to do is like, how does that fit with your IT strategic plan? And I say that intentionally because everybody should have a 3 to 5 year strategic plan for their IT department. and that takes different shapes for all different customers. But it's really important to do that. Just as important as it is to have, a financial plan for growth, a succession plan. IT is becoming a significant tool and a budget line item that we really should have a strategic plan of how that's going to fit into our business. So, Aktion Associates, our position on cloud and how it can work with your business. There's a couple of things. There's SaaS, which is SaaS, software as a service, where the software runs in the cloud, on your cloud, and you basically pay a subscription price for that software on an ongoing basis. The IaaS is infrastructure as a service, where you basically pay a monthly or quarterly subscription to use the hardware and the Microsoft tool set on there, and you run your own applications on the infrastructure in the cloud. So for us, it makes a lot of economic sense for your core applications, such as your Sage 100, Sage 300, Sage Estimating, for you to own those applications, because most people are using those 10 years or more. So the simple math, the fifth grade math of what it costs to rent those on a subscription basis versus purchasing them over a 10-year run is a significant number. However, there are some very specific mobile apps or remote access tools that make sense to run in the cloud and very much suited for a subscription-based pricing. And there are some of that's architecture, access, things like that. So what we like to take is more of a hybrid approach to the cloud, where you own certain pieces of your core software and you maintain it. You rent the infrastructure in the cloud. You run that software in the cloud. And then there's also other true SaaS applications that you run as software as a service in the cloud, and it all gets bundled together, if you will. So those are some of the things that we position ourselves, and we think we can give some pretty solid solutions. So what most companies and what we like to do is for customers to focus in on what you do as a business. Focus in on building buildings, running service departments, whatever you do, and not necessarily on your systems and your infrastructure. I have my quote from Bonnie and Clyde, 1967, we rob banks. That's kind of what was their specialty. That was their core expertise, and that's kind of where we look at our customers have their core expertise in the construction or professional services area, and we have our core expertise in the IT area. So that's the reason we feel like we're a good fit and a good partner for everyone. So, again, like I say, IT not being most of our customers' expertise, buying hardware, maintaining, doing upgrades, making sure security and backup are in place, not necessarily a core strength. So that's where we position ourselves as a solution for that. And we have a cloud solution to run your Sage 300, 100, and estimating in the cloud so that you can get away from that IT infrastructure. When we deploy, everything looks the same. You have the same windows, same screens, same formats, same security within the applications that you currently have on your on-premise. And remember, you still own the software. It's not a rented solution, if you will. The cloud, it's fairly easy, straightforward, and simple. And our hosted solutions for Sage, we have pricing, and we'll kind of get that in the Q&A time about pricing, how it makes sense. No servers for you to maintain, no heavy footprint on your end. Basically just a desktop, laptop, and an internet connection. It's easy for you, again, as I said, it's easy for you to maintain, high level of service availability, And easy to expand, that's another piece. As your business grows and you need additional resources, in our cloud environment, it's very easy to allocate additional memory, additional storages. That's something that we can do dynamically within our data center. That's a little more challenging for you to do on premise. Again, security, we still have security. We have all your backups covered. We do, and we constantly monitor the systems to make sure that they're up and running. For you, there's nothing to deploy. We manage everything on our servers. We do the hardware. We do the hardware support. We do the operating system upgrades. We do the maintenance, and we'll do your Sage 100, 300, and estimating upgrades as well. So it's very simple, straightforward, and easy to do. And what I like to highlight is it's not just the cloud. This is the Action Cloud, if you will. And it's a purpose, our data center for our Sage products is purposely built for Sage products. We configure them to be, optimize your Sage applications so that you get the best response times out there. So it's just not something that's a one-size-fits-all, as one of my little clouds says out there. It's also, you also have the application support of Action within our data center. So if there's something that's wrong, that there's an issue with an application, you don't have to go looking for find somebody who knows the software, your Sage products. We know that. We can help troubleshoot those things as well. So it's something that we can help you not only on the infrastructure, but the application side as well. A lot of people have the questions I typically hear from a cloud environment. It's not secure. Well, it is. From our configuration, your data is never commingled. Our model actually will create your own private server, so it actually becomes a private cloud at that point in time. No one else has access to it. It's available 24/7. There are some scheduled downtimes, but those are all communicated and coordinated with you. Again, being your own server, those are things that we can do on your schedule without having to impact other cloud customers, or upgrades for other cloud customers will not impact your server. So it's easy to handle from that point. Our data center is completely redundant. We have no single point of failure. We have multiple internet access lines in, multiple power sources, and backup. And this is not new for us. Needless to say, we've been in the IT business for 30 years, and we've been in the Sage business for almost 18 years now. We've been doing cloud and hosting Sage applications for about 5 or 6 years as well. So this is not necessarily new to us. It's just now that the market seems to be available and looking out in the cloud environment. Another advantage is you have as far as deploying. We found a typical deployment on premise, is a 42-day to get an environment ready by the time you configure what you need from a server. You order the hardware, you get it in, you get all the operating systems installed, ramped up, burned in, settled into your network, all those type of things. We typically can do, your environment can get spun up in less than 5 days and be ready to go. Annual maintenance. Typically we've seen averaging a company will spend around 300 hours a year to maintain your hardware on premise. That goes to zero in a cloud environment, or a nearly zero, because there's just nothing on premise to maintain. We take care of it all. So again, that's where we encourage our customers to focus on what you do for a business and not spend resources and energies on things that we can help you with. So just to kind of wrap up, this is kind of where you can be. You can be on the on-premise guy who's gloomy, or you can work with the cloud and actually have a good experience. So that's just the quick presentation. Let me go ahead and go into some questions and answer time. And I'm going to go ahead and show this slide while we're at that so you can actually jot down contact